Sup, everybody? Nobody even knows I'm going to come on. Just surprising everybody. How you doing, everybody? Did my Lafreniere trade thing, and oh my gosh, Rangers fans, they're not trading Lafreniere. No, never, not in a million years. Really? Okay. How is Lafreniere going to fit on the left side in New York? That's what I want to know. Is hey, Hockey News Reports post trade deadline. No way. I love this hat. I love this hat. I'm gonna try to get some more Whalers hats. This is my favorite. What's up, Mark Brown? How you doing, buddy? Hartford's about an hour away from you. Okay. I wish they never would have left, but it's kind of hard to compete with Boston. The So I did my Lafreniere video, and I sent it off to all the Ranger lands, and they are pissed. I can't remember. It's called Lids. I just got it from Lids. I don't know if you have it in the U.S., but in Canada, it's a place called Lids, Lids. Oh, you're an hour away from Hartford too? Right on. I usually don't have like NHL paraphernalia, but I saw this hat and I was like, I gotta have it. So I wouldn't mind getting a Hartford Whalers jersey and all that stuff like that. It's just something about the Whalers. Yeah, they couldn't get it to be a hockey city no matter how hard they tried. Marc-Andre Fleury, he could. I mean, best deal. That was the best deal. It's hard to say, but as far as to win now, that was the best deal of the draft. They gave up possibly only a second round pick. They win it if they win the cup at first. If they make it past to the Western Finals, it's a first. And if you're gonna add somebody that's the guy you add. An elite goaltender or nothing from Minnesota. It didn't make sense to do anything else. Oh yeah. I think San Jose wins that deal. I think Middleton's a little overrated. I could be wrong. In all honesty, I probably haven't watched enough San Jose to say that. But from what I watched, he was a guy that played high up in a lineup that had poor defense. I'm not sure that he's really that good. But then, you know what? It's Guerin is making that deal. And I trust his analysis of players, so it's kind of hard for me to say, really. But I mean, they had to do something with Kakinen. They didn't really have much leverage after getting Fleury. So to get a guy that can play in your, depth guy on defense, I suppose, is okay. But what do you think? I might have a wrong read on Middleton, though. I will admit that. I might have a wrong read on Middleton. But I maybe Peyton, I'll message Peyton and ask him what Middleton. I haven't checked his analytics or anything like that. It's just on eye test. He just kind of reminds me of like your average, maybe like if he might be able to get to Forbert level or something like that. Maybe. Oh, you watched the Oilers game? That pissed me off. I had Colorado in regulation. I needed Colorado to win that in regulation. But, the Oilers played well. I don't know what's going to happen with them in Dallas today. I really don't know. I don't trust Dallas right now. I think Dallas will probably win that game. That was a great move. I don't think they're getting rid of Lehkonen unless they get something like that. I don't think they're getting rid of Lehkonen unless they get something like that. Like, it's an overpay by the Avalanche, but I get the overpay at the same time. He doesn't fit in their depth all that much. Like, let me see, Montreal. If I remember correctly, he's put up some pretty nice numbers there. Justin Barron, yeah, he becomes their number one, and he's a righty too. I didn't even realize that. 20 points in 43 games. He's not really going to be your offensive guy, but he's big. He's only 20 years old. And as far as I can tell, he's progressed well everywhere he's gone. I think it was a good move. I think it was just one of those things where you couldn't refuse. They gave him an offer you couldn't refuse for Lehkonen. And I honestly thought that I think Montreal was leaning towards keeping Lehkonen until they got a deal like that. And then it was like, man, Barron can be a top 4 defenseman, maybe even higher. Good move. Really good move, especially considering he's 20 and he will be ready to play in 2 years probably. And of course, Gordon's trying to do the quick rebuild. So, oh, yeah, that's the thing about Smith is that like he has a tough time now not letting a softie one in. Yeah, I mean, and Barron was kind of buried in that very deep defense for Colorado. So I wouldn't even doubt if Barron's agent and stuff kind of went to them and said, like, it's going to be tough for us to crack your lineup. If there's a deal out there, we wouldn't mind moving on. I wouldn't even doubt that. So Montreal did well to identify a team with a really deep defense and pick up a player that is going to possibly be a top 4 in their defense. So I thought they did really well. And as far as Colorado, I mean, it's hard not to bite on a guy like Lehkonen, right? Like, he can score from all over your lineup. He's one of those energy guys that when you need a boost, you put him out there and he gives her like constantly all the time. He's a pretty good offensive guy. They don't have him in the lineup here. Oh yeah, they do. Lehkonen, Newhook, and Comfer as your third line is pretty sweet, man. Incredible depth. It was definitely a buyer's market, that's for sure. Yeah, he put up some pretty decent points. I mean, he's probably going to be your 30-point guy. He's big, he's solid. Apparently, from everything I've heard, he's solid defensively. He can skate. Like, not easy to find top 4 guys that are going to be ready for 2 years. That's pretty hard to find. So I'd say they did very well. Yeah, he can do a lot. Like Lehkonen checks off a lot of boxes, right? Like he can put up points, he can play shorthanded, he can even fill in on your power play. Like he's one of those utility guys that if you have injuries or whatever, you can throw him anywhere. I love guys like that. And Calgary did the same sort of thing for Yarncroc. It was a hefty price, 2 seconds and something like that. But I get those players. Like those players are tough to gauge the value on because, especially in the playoffs, if injuries happen, they can play everywhere. And I think everybody was overpaying. And I got a video coming out. It's a long one where I go over every trade from Manson to Colorado quickly. It was kind of like a reaction video. I didn't spend a lot of time preparing for it, but I got it. It should be coming out tonight. It's about 50 minutes though, so you have to listen to it in chunks. This is part of your last comment. I keep on seeing message retracted. I mean, I still don't think it was that easy for them to give up on Lehkonen, even with that deal. I think he's kind of a heart and soul guy, and for the very same reasons that Colorado wants him, it would be but talking about a top 4 D man, a kid when you're trying to rebuild, you got to do it. You got to do it. Yeah, it's Yarncroc, Lehkonen. There was another guy that went somewhere that's like that too. Oh, I mean, what Tampa Bay gave up for why is his name escape? Hagel. Hagel's sort of like that. The only thing is Yarncroc can actually play center, but that was a boatload they gave up. That was a ton they gave up for Hagel. But 1.5 million, and they're trying to win now, and they seem like they wanted to get their replacement for Coleman. And he's going to be able to play, like he doesn't have to get paid for a couple of years. It was like a perfect fit like that. And Chicago leaned on that all to help. Like Chicago obviously identified their desire for Hagel because they got full value in that deal. That was a sweet deal for Chicago too. Tough one. I mean, it makes sense for both, but normally if you're going to give up that many prospects, you're getting a guy that can be in your top 6. I'm not sure if Hagel, I mean, he can play up there, but I wouldn't call him a top 6 player. So Chicago got every bit out of it, that's for sure. Yeah, I have a feeling that the I have a feeling that there's some tension between Gorton and the New York Rangers, to tell you the honest truth. I don't think Gorton sits too well with how he got fired there in New York. So I'm not sure if he's so buddy buddy with all everybody there. So I could be wrong. I don't know that for a fact or anything like that, but I do like what the Rangers did too, and I talk about that in the video I did. Uh, Make sure everybody's tapping that like button, eh? Just get more people in here. I like what the Rangers did. Drury really understood the situation he was in. Getting Vetrano, I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to sign Vetrano. They're building a deep team there. I think they're going to have Panarin, uh, possibly Lafreniere. I just did a Lafreniere trade video because it's possible I think he could trade. I'm getting the impression that Drury is looking to have a team with four of the most solid lines in the NHL, much like the Islanders. Yeah, it was a beautiful goal. They're going to sign Kopp, I'm pretty sure. They're going to sign them both. Yeah, that's Lamoriello for you. He'll have something up his sleeve. He likes to do his stuff in the off season. He doesn't like doing it at the deadline. He doesn't like doing moves at the deadline. He says they're crazy. The prices are crazy. And he's right. Those prices were crazy. But I mean, obviously he's not selling either. You would have thought if prices are crazy, this is a time to sell. Like if I would have had something to sell, if I'm a team and I had something to sell over this trade deadline, I would have been on it, man. I think Cop $5 million for 8 years. Strom is not getting re-signed. I don't believe Strom is getting re-signed. Cop $5 million for 8 years. I think what they're doing is they're building a team, like I said, really like the Islanders. They're going to try to get as many $5 million guys as possible. Yeah, that we didn't even talk about. That was a brutal trade. I don't know what Toronto's thinking there. That's a desperation trade. Not that I don't like Gio, but I'm rooting for Gio to be absolutely balls out amazing, but he's slipped, man. He's not what he used to be from what I can tell. And they gave up a lot, and I don't think it makes them a contender against Tampa Bay and Carolina. So to me, it was too much to give for what they got. What did he pay for Palmieri? He did overpay there, didn't he? Hey, 100% Dork. Okay, we're talking about the Rangers right now, Dork. I can't remember what your team is. Nice. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Let's look at the Rangers. I had it figured out how they were going to be able to sign Kopp and Vetrano. Here, Granger. I'm pulling the Rangers up here right now. Okay, so they don't sign Strom. They sign Kopp. I think Kopp gets $5 million for 8 years. He becomes their second line center. What do they got here? Vetrano, I don't know if he gets too much more than he already has. Justin Braun, they're not going to re-sign. That's a rental all day. So they got $10 million to sign Kopp and Vetrano. Why not? What? I can't see why they can't. They're not signing Georgiev. They're going to get a cheaper backup. That was what it is. They're going to get a cheaper backup. Bruins fan, nice. So what did you think about that Hampus Lindholm deal? I wanted to be on last night with, I should be on with Peyton. Maybe I can get on with Peyton for the third period tonight, hopefully. But I got to go to the gym. I might not be able to do it. I don't know. What did you think of that Hampus Lindholm deal? So Mark, they're not signing, they're trading away Georgiev. They're not signing Strome. They're going to sign Kopp for $5 million per for 8, I believe. Which hopefully that's it. But I mean, if he tries to milk it, he can get Pageau money, something like that. I think they're going to play him at center. And then Vetrano will get a shorter deal in the $3 million to 3.5 range. What time does that game start? 5. See, I that's the thing. I could do later games better than earlier games. What did you think of the Lindholm deal? I mean, I like Lindholm, but man, that was a lot to give up for Lindholm. Holy crap. Vaakanainen's pretty much ready now. I don't know where Boston's going right now. Boston, they obviously are going to try to load up more and go for it again year after year until they got nothing left in them at all. I think that's the only thing you can say. Yeah, he's going to be a great. I mean, they got him cheap for 6.5. I don't mind the deal at 6.5, but he has regressed quite a bit the last 2 years in Anaheim. So, you know, is that because he's in Anaheim? Maybe it's because he was in Anaheim. 7, yeah, 5, yeah. See, I can't do it. I pick up my wife at 5, and then we go to the gym at 6. So we do Tuesday and Thursdays. We go to the gym. I go other days, but those 2 days for sure. I don't know. I don't think it was a good move. Honestly, like the more I think about it, I wouldn't have did the move. It depends. I guess it depends how highly they are on Vaakanainen for whatever reason. He looked like he had a great year. But man, that was a lot to give up. It's possible. It's possible Lindholm, if Lindholm can find what he was 3 years ago, then I mean, just beautiful. With Lindholm, McAvoy is one of the best 2 top pairings in the league. if he can find that. If he finds that, they're fine. If not, I don't know. I just think it's kind of, I just can't see them getting better and better every year right now. And they're not a contender at the moment. So, and they just gave up a whole bunch of draft picks that could have got them there. Yeah, not our best. It seems desperate. That's what it seems like to me. It seemed like a desperation deal. Yeah, what is going on? They did finally figure that out, right? Dadonov forgot to, like, I haven't heard Dadonov forgot to put his no trade list in or something, probably. Because you're supposed to put it in the beginning of every year. Oh, Ryan Murphy is hurt again. So, I haven't heard anything back from that yet, either. Ottawa didn't file it. Oh. Hey, Avatar, man, we're getting all the old crew back. Sweet, thanks for coming in. Oh, that's because I'm starting a little later, I think. Everybody's home now. Avatar. So, what do you think about the deadline there, bud? But let me say, Stevie Yzerman just freaking heisted the crap out of St. Louis. Holy crap. I'm trying to figure it out. I think what St. Louis really did there was they got rid of cap space for next year so they can sign Perron. I think that's what that was. But a second in 2023, which is going to be like supposedly one of the best drafts. Nice. 2023, one of the best drafts. Josh Brown, okay. League minimum or whatever. Sinishin, 2015 first round pick, deepest draft. Talking about deep draft. 2023 is supposed to be the deepest draft since 2015. And the Boston Bruins just traded one of those picks to Ottawa and got Josh Brown. You know you might not have picked the right player when. Oh my gosh. That was, and you know what? I think in Ottawa, he's going to get a chance for a bottom six role there. Like, I think he's going to get a good chance for a bottom six role there in Ottawa. There's nothing to be excited about for Brown. He'll fight. If he can catch people, he can hurt people a bit, but I mean, he's not going to play in the lineup too much. Oh, he was signed. Okay. He's not going to play in the lineup all that much. If he's playing in your lineup, your defense is in trouble. Well, that was just an absolute pillage. Now, he gave up a second for that. So now, I was wondering what Stevie Y was doing, giving up a second for Leddy to Lamoriello. I think he must have owed him a favor. And I think he also probably had a deal like that for St. Louis in his back pocket before he did that. Yeah, I'm sure you know that, Dork. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just in case you didn't know for some reason. I don't know. What was I saying? Yeah, I mean, I would have to assume there's some things I have to assume about that trade. Sundqvist must be irreparably injured. Sundqvist must be irreparably injured. Uh, has to be. Because they're giving up their second in 2023, and Sundqvist gives them $3 million cap space after next year. Letty is trash, and Witkowski, I have no idea what the heck. He's a mascot, maybe. They got nothing except for $3 million in cap space. If Sundqvist can play, it's an absolutely diabolically horrible deal because Sundqvist is so underrated. If he can play, even if he doesn't, though, you got a second in 2023. It's just absolutely unbelievable, unbelievable. So I don't know what Boston's gonna. I don't know what Boston. What do you think Boston's gonna do, Dork? Well, let's look at Boston. We don't have a lot of we don't. Oh, and we got Bill here too. So all the Boston fans are here. So Boston next year now. Oh my gosh, you don't have anybody coming off the books hardly. Lazar, that's it. Josh Brown. But you said they re-signed him. It doesn't show that they did sign him here. Connor Clifton. I'm not sure I see where I'm not sure where Brown really fits into this lineup. It's a very weird deal. And then Lindholm. Well, what's their cap space? $3 million in cap space for next year. Nothing. They got nothing. Trade DeBrusque. Hopefully not have to take any money back. I guess after next year they get a lot of reprieve though. That's when they're really gonna work their magic, I guess, because you got Smith coming off, Holla, Noshik. Well, Pasternak's got to be signed though, so that'll eat up a crap load of it. And hope injuries don't happen. Yeah. If you can get a right wing forward, I mean, they're really. If Boston, well, I mean, of course, Boston wants to have a good playoff, but if they make it through a round, maybe two or whatever, the biggest thing I think for them is they're hoping to hell DeBrusque just goes off in the playoffs. Not a lot to work with, no. How come it doesn't show it on Cap Friendly yet? But that happens. What was he signed for? Because he was making 1.2 in Ottawa. That's cray cray. Yeah, keep them on the top line and pad those stats. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's what they got to do there. Because, I mean, they're not going to win the cup this year, right? There's no way. Unless Swayman goes absolutely batshit crazy. I'm sorry, I'm doing, are any of you guys on Reddit? I'm on Reddit now. Search Pearlo Wisdom 1212 on Reddit. You can join me. Pearlo Wisdom 1212 on Reddit. If you're on it. I do a lot. Man, you get talking on there. Holy smokes. Oh, yeah. Swayman's awesome, but I mean, it's asking a lot for a kid to do that. I didn't even know you could get porn on Reddit. Look at that. I just started on Reddit. It's funny. Only porn. But I asked a question on Reddit. I asked about, what do you guys think of the return for Sherratt? What Florida gave up for Sherratt? I'll write it down here. You're joking. So it's not only for porn? It's not only for porn. Just mainly. Yeah, I know, but what did they sign him for? What did they sign him for? Sign Josh Brown for? I don't see where he got signed. That's what I'm saying. I asked in Reddit like what they thought about the Sherratt deal, and I'm surprised. Most people are saying that they thought they overpaid. Oh shit. Reddit porn sounds depressing. Yeah. What did you think of the Sherratt deal? I thought they overpaid, but I think he can do better in Ottawa too. I think I think. Well, what did he do in the minors here? What I should do is just go down every deal and see. I don't think he knocked it out of the park in the minors either. That was the thing. Like he was supposed to be the offensive. He was supposed to be the offensive guy. I think that they thought at least he would be like a Vetrano or something like that. Oh wait, I need to look up Ottawa. I think they thought he would be like a Vetrano or something like that. At least. I don't know what they were thinking in that. Honestly, when they made that deal for Sinishin, when they picked him, I really didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. Did they got Sinishin in the lineup? Joseph? I love the pickup of Matthew Joseph that they got that was a good move. Yeah, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. How come they don't? He went to Ottawa, right? They still don't have him in the Ottawa lineup for some reason. Is he injured? Huh. Weird. They don't have him in the minors or anywhere. Maybe they haven't decided what they're going to do with him yet. Are they going to try him up in the lineup maybe? But they don't have him in the starting lineup for their next game. And he shouldn't be on the Boston Bruins depth chart, that's for sure. He shouldn't be on the Boston Bruins depth chart, I don't think. Still. Nope. So Sinishin's nowhere. No, I don't know. He's nowhere now. No, he wasn't in the Anaheim deal. He went to Ottawa. Most teams overpaid, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Sherratt was an overpay. Boston way overpaid, I think. Yeah, even if Lindholm can get his magic back, I still think that's super steep. But it was a seller's market. He's nowhere. Sinishin is nowhere. He left. That was it. He got traded and he just went into thin air. That was it. Found out he was going to Ottawa and he went AWOL. I'm sure he's happy to go to Ottawa, but I don't know why I can't find him. Let's see if I can find him in one of the deals there. Because I wanted to see where he was from, too. Here we are, Sinishin. Yeah. Sinishin has 51 AHL games this season with 19 goals and 12 assists. Well, I mean, he was on a 30-goal pace in the AHL. Oh, he's from Ottawa. He's from Ottawa. Senyshyn is even from Ottawa. Yeah, crazy. So, I mean, that's great for Ottawa because Ottawa is not a place people flock to like. Ottawa will show up on a couple no trade lists. You know what I'm saying? So, for them to get somebody from Ottawa is very important to them. Yeah, he is. He's from Ottawa, so that's great for him to go back home. Uh, how's it going, Clyde? Welcome in, buddy. Yeah, it's good for him, man. Good for him for sure. So, Clyde, what did you think? What's your favorite part of the trade deadline? What is the worst? Who did the worst? Who did the worst? The worst at the trade deadline. I guess some of the teams that didn't do anything, but going by the price that was out there. Yeah, I do like the Sens. Wow, I mean, Brady Tkachuk is until Brady Tkachuk is probably my favorite player in the league besides Fleury. I just love both Tkachuks, but I love Brady Tkachuk. Love, love, love. I love these. I love guys that are out there smiling while they beat people. I love, love, love those players. Matthew Barnaby was one of my favorite players ever. Like I, it, I think the Leafs did the worst. I think. I haven't really thought about it, but right off the top of my head, I would say the Leafs did the worst. It was, I mean, it was good. I didn't watch all of it, but um, the Oilers played their ass off, no doubt about it. But Colorado in the right spot, like if they had to play in a 7-game series, Colorado would absolutely ruin them. I believe. I believe Colorado would absolutely ruin them. Josh Bailey, yeah. Josh Bailey's been part of the furniture so long there. And the problem they have with Bailey is that he stuck it through all the arena deals and all of that stuff like that. And he never asked to be traded. And that's the problem. And Lamoriello is a loyalty guy. It basically, if you don't want to go with Lamoriello, well, then again, they did put him out there for Seattle to take for free. So no, no, I thought that was a stupid move. Yeah, Smith played well last night. Anders Lee, I had a feeling that contract was going to come and bite them in the ass. I mean, he's one of those guys that gets his goals from the dirt, from you know, he's not all that skilled. He's really good at tipping shots and stuff like that. And those guys, their point totals fluctuate all the time. But I don't think anybody's taken that deal from the Islanders now. I don't think so. It was a great game, and I love to see Smith doing well, not just because I'm an Oilers fan, but because he's just one of those guys, that warrior guys that that people undervalue or throw him under the bus, or they quit on him, and then he does stuff like that. Yeah, the refing was bad. I from what I but I think it was bad for both sides, really. I usually don't pay attention to refing, but if I notice it, it was probably bad. Yeah, like Smith is a warrior. Like, he's always been a warrior his whole career. And he's been loyal to a fault. Like, he should have been out of Arizona long before he was. Most people would have asked for a trade. If he would have played in his prime for a really good team, I mean, he was good as Luongo, all of those guys. He just played on a really crappy team with Tippett as his head coach, which I didn't realize at the time when Tippett was in Arizona, but I heard a lot from Arizona fans. They couldn't stand him. Oh, were they? I wasn't. Why was I not totally focused on that game last night? I can't remember. I did have to go to bed early last night, so I don't know. We had the best. We had the, like, if you. I don't know if you guys have ever watched European hockey at all, anything in the KHL and stuff like that. But the reffing there is like diabolical. I'll tell you, it must be like extremely difficult to be a ref because we have the best in the world and people complain about it all the time. But if you watch European hockey, uh, deadline drowsy. Yeah, it was a busy day yesterday. Holy crap. I did videos. I did a Lafreniere trade video, and I haven't really got much play on it. I really like it, but my other videos had bigger names, I guess. People still don't get, like, I did Kane trade. I did, guys like that, but not too many people. I really liked it. I think it's very possible the Rangers trade Lafreniere. You heard it here first. And I don't think because Lafreniere, they think Lafreniere is going to be a bad player. I think it's just because he's not very good at the right side, and neither is Panarin and neither is Kreider. And he can't play center. So eventually, what are you going to do there? Like, Kreider's your captain. You're trading Panarin at $11.5 million. He's got an ironclad no trade clause that I'm sure he's never going to waive. I mean, if there was anybody, oh, okay, cool. If there is anybody that deserves on a team to never trade his no trade clause, hey Doug, how you doing, buddy? It's Panarin. Because Panarin said he was going to the Rangers like way back before he ever signed a NHL contract. He told Chicago that, he told Columbus that. Everybody knew he was going to the Rangers. And when he got there, he got his $11.5 million and the no trade clause, and I'm pretty sure he deserves the right to never waive it because he promoted and was all a Ranger way before he ever became a Ranger. Oh, is that right? Jake Allen was insane last night. I did watch that game. Jake Allen was absolutely crazy last night. I didn't see that coming, actually. I got to say, I didn't see Jake Allen going off like that. That was nuts. They Boston did happen to pull it off. I had Boston in reg. Yeah, every once in a while they have those days. Yeah, it used to be that Smith was like that all the time, but he doesn't. Not anymore. Who else had the worst? I thought the Penguins did well when they got Raquel. We'll see what Raquel does in Pittsburgh. Probably just goes off. Zach Aston Reese. I mean, I like the guy. He's a good two-way guy. But the conditional second round. No, a 2022 second round pick. Aston Reese and Dominic Simone. Simone is like a fourth liner. Zach Aston Reese is an interesting pickup, though. He kind of got buried in the lineup there. Everybody hit that. Somebody tap that like button if you could. Somebody tap that like button. Penguins got to win that game. Did I put that in? Penguins have got to win that game. They got Jari in net. Korpisalo. The only thing that concerns me, I shouldn't say this out loud to the universe, is that Korpisalo now doesn't have to worry about the trade deadline. He may have a decent game. I forgot about that too. Yeah, he's been good, but Korpisalo has been terrible. So I can't back Korpisalo. It's got to be an over, right? You got to figure there's an over there. And I can't remember. Did I put that over in? Yeah, I did. Over first period. Team total over. You could see them taking that, eh? I hope you're wrong. Let's try to see what the spot is there. Like, is there a spot that... See, Pittsburgh... Oh, is this their first game back off of a road trip? Pittsburgh. Oh, you know what? It's kind of an annoying spot. You're right. It's kind of an annoying spot because they just come off a road trip. They have one game at home, and then they go on the road again. Columbus. Columbus. Yeah, Columbus is pretty rested there too. Jeez. Oh, I already got it in, but now you got me a little bit concerned there now. Pittsburgh went. Well, how did I miss this? But they had 3 days off after that road trip. They played in Arizona. They had 3 days off. The thing is they don't have to have this game. That's the hard part. Like Pittsburgh's already got a playoff spot. What's the motivation for Pittsburgh here? You got me worried now, buddy. You got me thinking now. I just can't back. I can't back Korpisalo no matter what. I just can't. I can't back Korpisalo no matter what. That's really the problem with that whole thing is. Let's see, Pittsburgh. What did they? How bad? What did they? They right now are going to play the Rangers. I suppose it depends how important it is for them to get home ice advantage over the Rangers, which I think could be pretty important for them. Or the Rangers are not a barn that I want to start in. I don't want to like it's. I think home ice advantage for them would be pretty huge. Columbus is out of it. Like that's the thing too. Columbus will probably be playing loose tonight, and that could be a problem. Which leads me to believe that it should be an over. I've still not. Maybe call it whatever you want. Call it like just. I can't get it out of my head how badly he played last playoffs. But Tristan Jarry needs to have a huge playoffs here because. Well, it was after the playoffs he had last year. You can't. It's hard to back Jarry, really. But I mean, I'll take him over Korpisalo this year. But he's having a way better year than a lot of people anticipated, for sure. Did you get your package, Ref? The games tonight. What other games are? These are tough. I got Tampa, Carolina. I mean, it's hard not to take Carolina at home, but they haven't been scoring lately. I could see Tampa Bay. I just think it's gonna be a low-scoring game. The Rangers. I take the Rangers to win, but not by much. Like I think it's going to be a close game. I really don't. New Jersey's going to be playing again. A lot of these teams now that the deadline's over, they're probably going to be playing a lot looser because they didn't get traded, so they don't have to worry about shipping their family to another city and all that kind of stuff like that. You still don't know if Shesterkin is in? Yeah, it's likely. It says likely. I can't see why it wouldn't be in here. Don't know who New Jersey's going to have in, though. I imagine it'll be Dawes, but doesn't say. Nedeljkovic is in for Detroit. I mean, who knows who's going to win that game. I lean Detroit, but I have no idea. If Hart, I mean, they can't win on the road. Like Philadelphia can't win on the road. So they're 0-10 on the road or something like that. Like, it's crazy. I'm tempted to take Coyotes team total over. And I think the Islanders game should be under. Forsberg's been playing very, very well. And another thing we don't know is like who's going to be in the lineup from the trades that happened on the deadline. Like Washington had Johansson. Is he going to be in? Still don't know who's going to be in net for St. Louis. I have a feeling it could be Binnington. In which case you got to look at the over there. And I'd probably lean to Washington. Yeah. I don't have a good read on that. Forsberg is playing so well. Like, the Islanders could outplay Ottawa and still lose. He's playing that well. That's my problem there. No, I got Flames. I know the Sharks have a lot of trends going on in their favor in there, but the Sharks have beat Calgary twice this year, and I just can't see Calgary losing to too many teams 3 times in a row. Much like the reason why I took LA versus the Sharks the last game they played, it's kind of like enough, and it's kind of like enough is enough here. I think it's for Calgary. This is going to be like enough is enough. We can't keep on losing to this team. That's enough. I think that they'll be focused. They've been overlooking San Jose. I think it ends tonight. I think they put it away tonight. And I think Calgary's probably scores quite a bit too. Okay, see you later, Mark. I don't have a read on that. The Nashville on a back-to-back. The thing is, the Kings are so beat up. If I had to, Nashville's pretty damn good on back-to-backs. But, I mean, the Kings need this win so hardcore. I think it's going to be a tough battle. It's going to be a tough game. Probably take the dog plus 1.5. Throw it in a parlay or something. Yeah, you got the back-to-back, and I'm off of that game too. I don't know. I'm not very good at judge. I'm not a very good judge of the Oilers. Yeah, Rittich isn't too bad. I mean, LA's got Quick, and Quick has been going. A lot of motivation for the Kings. Nashville too. They're just always a motivated team. Nashville's got the better team on paper tonight. Let's look at LA and Nashville on paper. Maybe that'll help me with it if I do that. Because I haven't put anything for that game. By the way, if any of you want, BPAL picks. Search bpalpicks.com. I'll give you some free days to check it out. But look at LA. It's actually a pretty tough card tonight. There's not too many things that I really like in it. I haven't given you all the stuff that I put in. I can't. I mean, I got people paying for it. It's not really fair that I give that to everybody. People are paying for it, right? So, Los Angeles Kings. See, they got no Doughty. More Dano Kaliev. Gabriel Velarde hasn't been doing much. Quentin Byfield. Grunstrom's back in the lineup again. And then Elias Anderson's back in. It's hard to back this defense. Oli Mata. Jordan Spence is still figuring it out in the NHL. Jacob Mauvrier. I mean, looking at this lineup, you gotta go Nashville. You gotta. I think I'm gonna put it in for Nashville to win that game. They're just too beat up, man. Athanasio out, Arvidsson out, Lemieux, Dustin Brown, Doughty. My God. And they put Martin Frick down in the minors again because he can't play defense to save his life. He's got a shot, and that's all he's got. But, and then you look at Nashville's lineup. They're just too beat up. I think Nashville will probably win that game. If you're asking me to pick a side, it's hard for me to go with that roster for LA. Like Troy Stetcher, they just picked up from Detroit. He's whatever, right? Alexander Edler, he's ancient now. He hasn't played all year. Sean Dursey, good solid kid. I like him. He's got a lot to learn in the defensive side. Jacob Mauvrier is probably going to play in the NHL, but I mean, these kids they got kids playing tonight. They're all kids, except for old man Edler. A draw would be a good one. Maybe a draw. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Maybe a draw. Nashville beat up on Anaheim last night, and that wasn't even that tough of a game. Nashville makes every game tough, but they're a tough team, like physically tough team. They play hard. I keep on thinking they're going to run out of gas in the playoffs. You got Forsberg. I mean, look at this lineup in comparison. Ekholm is out. Forsberg, Johansson, Duchesne, Tolvanen, Granlund, Cunnin. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a little bit in on Nashville. What's Nashville? What's that paying? Unless Nashville's they're getting plus money. Oh, for plus money, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to put that in right now. Plus money. I didn't even realize they were plus money there. You'd be getting plus 100 on that. You can even find it on BetOnline for plus 110. That's crazy good. Oh my gosh. Okay. Predators plus 1.5. Should I take Calgary money line so I can make sure I get a piece of that? Think about maybe Preds plus 1.5 in a 2-team parlay. At the very least, it's not very likely they're going to lose by more than one, I don't think. I think Edmonton Dallas first period is a sneaky under 1.5. Yeah, it does seem like the. Well, I mean, the when I remember that one Predators Arizona game I know it was LA Arizona game I watched. The referees weren't supporting LA there, that's for sure. They were all over Arizona there. But anyways, guys, I gotta go. I just came on for a bit. I'll probably be on tomorrow. Thanks for coming on. That was good times. We'll see if I'm on tomorrow or not. I'm not sure. We'll try to. But thanks. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you later. Okay, bye.